Today, we get a little surprise here. We had a couple hours to get out on the FZR. The weather was closing in on us, but we still got a ride today. And you can see the clouds in the background this day. I have to say, on the ride home, I was thinking I'm going to get a bath and to clean the bike and everything. But it was, like many days, it was our lucky day. We made it home before anything happened, anything terrible. But it was still a nice day. We rode out to the Teterboro Museum. But there's all airplane parts there, and there's a space capsule and helicopters from Korea. It's a very, very cool place. Now today is an FZR day, and I want to get the bike cleaned up, pre-flighted, and maybe even get a short ride on it today. I'm waiting to see how the day is going to play out with the construction work on the kid's house. I think I'll have time for a ride today, a short ride. Now, I knew there was a good chance it was going to rain later in the day, and maybe if I stayed out a little extra, I was going to get a bath. So I wanted to make sure I had plenty of wax on the bike. Just makes it cleaning up at the end of the day, if we do get caught in the rain, a little bit easier, and just the general maintenance of keeping it nice. Now, I didn't want the fact that the blue skies were showing now. The weatherman has been pretty right lately about the rain coming in, and it got cloudy very quickly in this ride. Now, I've had this bike 10 years already, and it has really been always a fun bike to get out on. Always. After hanging out at the museum for a while and meeting some people there and chit-chatting about airplanes, I noticed it's really getting dark out. So we're at the Teterboro Aviation Hall of Fame Museum, and my Uncle Henry was one of the original people here. They have his all his awards and stuff in there. And needless to say, it's a great pit stop, and always enjoy looking at the planes. For anybody who's never been down here, they have some pretty cool stuff. And of course the big stuff in the back, and some helicopters here. It's a really cool place. And it's not far from my house on a day like today when I don't have all day for a ride. Hey, it's turning out to be a great day. And it's always good getting out on the FZR, but I see some nasty clouds coming this way, boy. I don't know how long we're going to be out. Whatever we get, it's free lunch. Always good to be out on the FZR. And anytime I've ever been there, there's always been some interesting people that have some interesting stories and interesting memories, just like at Perry's. It's Perry's of airplanes. When they're 25 years old, you can get historic plates.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's right off. It's like right out of the factory.
Not really. Not at the heart and soul. I used to have a 47 air coupe.
Oh, okay.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
And that radar detector mock, the new mount, the new box, worked out great because notice how far back that radar detector sits. Now, both airplanes and motorcycles have a big giant piece of my life. I'm tied up with the memories of both, actually.
Nice on the bike today, isn't it?
What's that?
A little chilly for the bike?
Nah, not if you're a real man.
I'm a whip, I guess.
I'm going home soon.
No, but
And those black clouds were just getting blacker and blacker and blacker by the minute, so I up ship here. Always great getting a ride on the FZR, and it's really got cloudy and it really got windy on the way back, and it looks like it's gonna rain any minute. So maybe I lucked out today, but always good to get a ride on the FZR. I've had this bike probably for 10 years, and it's been a ride. A ride is really what it is. And what makes any ride on the FZR even cooler, it was an evil twin for many years. And it's actually like I've had two bikes. I've actually had two bikes for the price of one here. And that was probably one of the original evil twins in my collection. And it stood the test of time. It actually stood the test of time pretty well. And of course, we have it as the FZR we have right now. A day like today, I love to look back at the old ride videos. And every one of these rides I have on video, so much good memories. Bike is an absolutely true evil twin. Not one of these memories have I forgotten. It seems like I go for a ride on this bike, and similar to the RD, all these memories, all these rides in the fall and the summer and the before and after, this bike has had two separate lives. And this bike and I go back through a lot of summers, probably 9-10 summers. The time I restored it, the time I had it all down to every nut and bolt, work that Luciano and I did on the engine, oh, the parts we replaced on it, bringing it back to life more than once. The years, 3 years of being a track bike and burning up Pocono and Millville. Another thing, all these old videos, and I try to put some on the end here, just some outtakes from them. All these videos are out on the channel in full, absolutely full length, just for my memory, if nothing else. And I look back all the time. We were shooting pictures with the rear cameras and different cameras, and how many things I experimented with at the time. I look at, there's the old magnetic tank bag, and some of the things we had back. I look back at this and it's just amazing the amount of memories. This bike is a 10-year chunk of my life tied up in this bike. And it all started the day Luciano found it, and we went and negotiated to go get it. And the guy gave me all these extra body work and parts. And if you only knew, back when I bought this bike, it was painted like a Harley with flames all over it. And he had an extra set of bodywork that had been in an accident. Of course, the bike had been in an accident. Front end was bent. We put a front end on it. We had a bent rim. I've had probably 5 or 6 different muffling systems on it. We have 3 sets of carburetors for it. And it's an endless, ongoing adventure. And just to be able to go on a day that it already started raining out there. It was bad enough it got cloudy on the ride home. It's already pouring, and I'm thinking to myself, I could be out in that rain, and I made the right choice getting back early. And that Aircraft Museum, by the way, is quite a nice place. And I remember the whole restoration of all the bikes I've ever restored. This one took the most amount of hours. There's 900 hours in this restoration. So for me, whether I like the bike or not, and I love it, it is an exciting bike to ride. And the thing that's exciting about it is the throttle response is abrupt. It's like a big giant 2-stroke. It always wants to wheelie. It's always fighting. It had no traction control and no safety features at all. But part of having the passion that I think we all share with motorcycling is having parts of your life tied up in these bikes. I know Dallas has many years tied up with his big GS. No matter what bike you have, if you love Ducatis or Harleys or dirt bikes, when you have this many years and this many miles, this many memories, this many trips, this many adventures, this many things that just make you crazy, and then when you figure them out, you feel like the king of the universe. That's the passion of motorcycling. And I think if you've made it to this part of the video, good chance you have it too. So I hope you'll share the video with your friends, and hey, pick up one of those MT09 t-shirts. The link is in the comments. And there's an FZR shirt, a new one, coming soon. John Pothier is still working on the artwork for this, and everybody knows I love to collect t-shirts. I have an extensive collection of all my model airplanes and motorcycle restorations, and I really do enjoy having them. They're fun to have.